Pussy niggas stay talking, you ain't it. Keep it lit and legit. I keep it lit as a bitch. These niggas ain't with the shits. Pussy niggas stay talking, you ain't it.
What's up, y'all? It's Syx Lit, aka Big Lit Syx in this bitch, and today we're bringing you guys a brand new podcast episode. Psych, just kidding. It is me, Daisy Michaela, and I am the host sister. And today we're gonna be switching things around, and I'm gonna be the one interviewing the host. So I hope you guys enjoy.
All right, guys. So obviously you guys can tell that's not my voice. If I do sound like that to you, you're sucking wild dick. My sister is here to interview yours truly, Syx Lit, aka Big Lit Syx in this bitch. And I wanted to bring some family into it. I did my mom. And I just wanted to do something different. So let's see how this goes. Hopefully while you guys are tuning into this, you guys enjoy.
Okay, guys. So we're going to start off with some questions regarding his career, and then we're going to move more deeper into it. And if this is a little off track, it's because this is not pre-planned. This is straight off the dome. So, okay, so we're going to be starting off with your new single that just dropped, Freaky, featuring Young Little Pappy, who is also one of the co-hosts of this podcast. He is not here today, guys. Sorry to disappoint. It's just me and Syx Lit. But yeah, how is that going so far? What was your thought process behind dropping that? I know Valentine's Day just passed. So how's everything going?
Everything's going really, really good. That is why it wasn't pre-planned, that single. I just kind of me and him were on the FaceTime. He was doing his job. We were communicating, talking, and I was like, hey, I feel like we should do a song. And next month is Valentine's Day, so we should just do something together as a song. And he's like, okay, well, I'll have to think about it. And I'm like, nah, I'll do it this time because last time you started it off, and then it went from there. And it just turned out to be a really good track. He really loved it. He was vibing to it. He kept singing it. So I was like, okay, I feel like I did some. So, yeah.
Okay, well, we are very proud of you and all your accomplishments. Speaking of accomplishments, what do you think has been your biggest 2024 accomplishment? I know we are into the new year, but I'm just wondering what really stood out to you that you did last year regarding your career.
Well, when I dropped my album, El Más Raro, I felt like that album did really, really good unexpectedly because I was like, I don't know if the Latin community is gonna be more welcoming about it or be like, whoa, what the fuck is this? He's probably not even Mexican. Why is he naming it like that? But of course, it's because it's me, my supporters, family, supported it. And it turned out to be really successful. A lot of people really fucked with it, and I'm just glad that I was able to, drop my album, some singles. But that was towards the beginning this year. So that was a big accomplishment that I feel like I did.
So dropping El Más Raro was your biggest accomplishment?
Yes. And now that I drop El Más Raro Parte 2 and also the singles towards the end of December and January and now.
Okay, and everybody listening to us right now, make sure you go tune into Syx Lit on all platforms. Thank you. Okay, and I'm also aware that you have 3 seasons of your podcast now. Yes. And how's that going for you? How has, the people you've met along the way, the people you've interviewed? I'm also aware that you've had a co-host in season 1 who I don't see is no longer around. What's up with that?
I just feel like, honestly, for season 1, it was really more of a welcome me into this whole, podcast community and just really kind of experience other people in my life just to see what was going on, the questions that I would ask or tell the old friend of mine to say, and he would do it, or some that he would just think of and I'll just answer. But honestly, for season 1, I felt like I was really bullshitting, and for season 2, I really, really, really took it serious. I know it took forever to drop last year, but hey, it's fine. And we're back on season 3. But, I just felt like him and our relationship, it just wasn't, we weren't seeing eye to eye. We were friends for many, many, many years. And we just needed to part ways. I just felt like a lot of fake snake shit was going on his end. My end, it's never that, on my mama. And, I just couldn't condone that snake ass shit. So I just had to X him out my life. I'm not gonna give you a reason. You niggas that always can't take accountability for what they've done. They always want to, I don't see the problem, or I don't I don't give a fuck. If I cut you off, it's for a fucking reason. You know what I mean? Obviously you being my sister, right? you know the situation, what happened. Like, would you have done the same thing or no?
Yes, I agree with your decision. I think that that was something that was necessary in order to continue growing in your podcast and your overall future, your career. But that is what I think. But what about you? How did your guys' departing affect the podcast? Or do you think it affected it in a bit more positive way than negative? Or
It honestly really from the start affected it negatively because I just stopped and I just felt like that old chapter of my life that since he's going, this needs to go too. But then again, I thought about it and said, wait, this is my shit. I'm putting on for it. I'm the face of it. I just brought this nigga as a partner for it. And it was just giving ungrateful the whole time. I'm uploading it. I'm doing the logos for it. I'm putting us out there like that. I'm promoting it. And he just couldn't do it. So I just said, fuck this. Like, I'm just done. Obviously, the new year, new shit, new music, new hits. You know how that go. I just really wanted to bring it back, and I met a really, really, really good friend of mine in October. You know, we clicked, we had the same fucking brain, mentality, what we wanted, and I just wanted to help him out. And from there, when we did our first episode together, it just was so smooth, organic, and I felt like I knew him for so long, and he felt the same way as well. That I was just like, bro, why don't you just be the partner for it? You know, like, are you down? And he's like, yeah, I'm so fucking down. Like, and it just stuck. I never vibed with nobody like that ever since I stopped talking to that man in 2023. So, you know, like, it was very different for me, but it really turned out for the best towards the end. You know what I mean? It went from a negative to a positive. So.
Okay, well, we're very happy to hear that your podcast is going well without him, you know. Some things like that are necessary in order to really lock in and really try to see what you want to do with what you have. And you have clearly successfully moved forward from that. Okay, on to, you know, staying on the career topic, but also into a more personal depth of a certain song known as Obsession. Yeah. So there are a lot of things mentioned in this song, but obviously, as your sister, I was mentioned. So what was your thought process of making that song, and how did you know, how did the idea click into your head and make you go and make that song?
Honestly, it's because the drama that happened was so recent, and I felt like throughout my career I've never mentioned anything negative about that person, but it just has been, he's been nonstop harassing for years and years and years, and to the point I just got fucking tired of it, you know? So I was like, fuck it. He likes to do shit on the internet. All right, nigga, instead of doing shit back on the internet, because I'm not the type of nigga, I'm just going to smoke you in a song and see what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And it was just a really good idea. Obviously, I wanted your guys' input and approval just before I just start, you know, saying shit that is really just fucking facts, you know, receipts and everything. Like, it's not a fictional song at all whatsoever. It's literally bar for bar, true for true. Like, that shit's real, you know? And you know.
Very true. Yes, I do know. And that's why I'm so proud of that song and the rest that you make. But that song specifically stands out because it is made from the heart. It is something that we experienced firsthand. We seen this, and it's sad to think about that we had to see this, but we're doing better, so it really doesn't matter. This is more of a song to, like, not only represents the emotional pain that we went through, but also shows that we grew from this and we used what we went through as our backbones to keep going. And especially you as an artist, you know, you're in the big world, in the big light of fame and all that stuff, you know. It's obviously not easy to express things like this when you're trying to paint a picture for your own self and there's people in your ear telling you to do otherwise, or trying to bring you down, or take what you have, like your accounts, your stuff, because they're jealous and envious of what you have and they don't. And so that's really what that song represents, not only emotional pain but emotional growth.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's very true. I mean, I just had to do it because I was just tired, you know, and then it just so happened it started again. Like the motherfucker can never learn. So I redid a song again, and it's gonna come out real soon. It's real raw, very, very, very deep, very uncut. And at the same time,
Not dramatic, very accurate.
very,
Very accurate.
yeah, very accurate. So, we'll see. But in the meantime, we're just going to chill, listen to Freaky. You know what I'm saying? That was a really good Valentine's Day song. And my first ever within my career and throughout my career, I ever dropped on that month. And that was one of my goals in life to really do. And I did it. So, let's go.
Okay, so what about you? How are you? Like, how is your head? Where we at? How are you feeling? It's a new year. New beginnings, all that stuff. So how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good mentally, physically. Good headspace, just really just trying to make it still and just put on for myself, my family, and just really hope that one day it really all comes to light and I could win a Grammy for one of these shits, like I'm all about music. I love music. I listen to certain type of music, so that momentum is still stuck, and what I come out with is just what I come out with, and I try my best in all my songs. Obviously, I'm not the best artist, but I damn well know that it's not ass, it's not trash. I just really put blood, sweat, and tears in this shit, and I can't wait, like I said, till this pays off.
Okay, that is very good, very interesting. Also, do you think that your career life plays a role in your emotional being? Because I know as your sister that sometimes you go through times and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm done. What are you thinking when that happens? Like, why do you feel unmotivated at times?
Because I feel like I've been doing this for so long. I mean, 10 plus years, it's so long. But at the end of the day, I know I'm not doing something right as in myself as an artist and to really fix the problem. And then when I do fix the problem, so I think I'm just still in that negative headspace about myself. It's never about like, oh, this artist is better than me. Nah, I just feel like, damn, like sometimes I wish my music sounded like a little bit more like this, a little bit more cleaner, smoother, but at the end of the day, I'm still young as fuck and I'm still gonna like do what I gotta do, and I'm not gonna stop ever. I'm never gonna stop. I have to build a legacy for my kids, for their kids as kids, their kids a kid, the family tree. So on my end, but what about you? How are you doing today?
I'm very happy with that answer. That is a very inspiring answer to other artists as well. Is that if you really want something, you have to continue going even through the hard days. But as for myself, that is for another podcast. Just kidding. But
no, say it. What's going on?
Well, nothing is going on. I am just a girl. And also I'm doing pretty well, just kind of trying to lock in with my school and stuff. But that is besides the point. We're here to talk about you. If you weren't a rapper, what do you think you'd be doing?
I would be a professional UFC fighter.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. And I'm sure everybody's curious as to what your favorite vape company and flavor is. So if you could let us know.
Okay. Well, my favorite vape company is, of course, the Geek Bars. And my favorite flavor, honestly, what I've been smoking on lately is sour straws. I feel like it's very watermelony, very good, kind of fruity, I like that type of feel. I don't like that menthol mint shit. Nah. But definitely fruity type of flavors of vape because I feel like those are kind of the best ones. Just nothing with ice in it because it gets like all menthol tasty and I don't know. But stuff like that, Geek Bar needs to sponsor me, okay? Geek Bar.
Yes.
Daisy, I have a question for you because obviously you know me like the back of your own hand. Obviously when you were in school, in middle school still, and I know your friends would talk about me being an artist. What was like the song that you would hear mostly from them that they liked?
Taxing.
Okay.
That was a pretty, one of your hits back then. which also dropped on my birthday, November 20th. Scorpios tap in. Yes. I'm just kidding. Okay, but yeah, guys.
So everybody like taxing, that was a really good vibe. That's when I kind of really blew up though, like November 20th, 2020. Like that was the year I blew the fuck up. And I cut hella motherfuckers off. I'm always cutting somebody off because they always do some shit to me. God damn. But anyways, on to bigger and better things, You guys, we're done with this episode. Thank you, Daisy, so much for being a co-host on my part.
Thank you for allowing me. And to everybody listening, I hope you have a great day, night, whatever it is for you. And his little sister is out.
And also, guys, just make sure to go stream Freaky and get ready for more hits on the motherfucking way. You already motherfucking know. Big Lit 6 in this bitch. Peace.